Hello guys, welcome to my Diwali special makeup tutorial. Here I'm going to show you how to look as glowing as the lamps around you. So to start off with, I'm putting my MAC strobe cream all over my face. This is basically going to prep, moisturize and give us that slight glow since there are shimmer particles already inside this lotion. It really helps with the overall glow that we are going for. You can either use clean hands or a brush. I just chose to use this MAC stippling brush to have an even distribution. Before we get started, I always like to prep my lips, so I'm using a lip balm with SPF. You can also use a lip mask. Color correcting is so important because it ensures you have an even application of your makeup. Here I'm using the Smashbox color correcting pencils and the orange one is literally almost over. I really need to purchase another one. I apply it in my under eyes and any dark spots on my face or any hyperpigmentation that you may have. After that, I use the Smashbox green color correcting pencil on the very red or pink areas of my face that needs a little bit of concealing. I do this because I don't like it when that redness or that brownness kind of is seen through your foundation, and I'm using this MAC flat brush to just smoothen things out. I will do a separate video maybe on how to color correct and the reason why people color correct. If that's something you guys want, let me know in the comments if that's what you guys want in the future. I'm now using a separate brush to smoothen out the green, and once this is done, we basically now have a neutral canvas to work on. Imagine a painting and you need a white canvas to make your beautiful painting, but it has all these imperfections. So that's basically what we've done. We've neutralized it and now we have a clean surface to put our makeup on. Lately, I've been in love with this foundation. It's the Makeup Forever HD Stick. Now, I love this for so many reasons because it gives this beautiful glow and shine to your face. It's super travel friendly and it's just mess free. Like, I just have to do a couple of strokes like this. I don't like going very bright on my makeup and I don't like also giving myself that artificial tan. So I just go in for something that is exactly the color of my skin. Now, initially, it may look like it's a bit bright on you, but trust me, it's not. I'm using this PAC makeup brush. It's super thick and dense, and I just use tapping motions to spread out the product. And as you can see, it's so blendable. It's so easy to, just cover up everything and, give you that beautiful glow. It's a very healthy glow. And of late, I've not been liking this very matte finish that foundations give. So I just really like this. And I have oily to combination skin, so it's working well for me. I've also noticed a little goes a long way in this product. It's very easily buildable and I have just been overall really happy with this particular foundation stick. Also, don't miss out these hilarious faces I make when I apply my makeup. It's just something I just can't be without doing for some reason. Spread the foundation onto your neck. Never ever stop at your jaw. Always spread it down to your neck. Next up, we have the Makeup Forever concealer. So as you can see, the foundation has done a pretty good job in covering up a lot of the small imperfections. So we are just gonna have a little bit more help with the concealer. I have this concealer in the shade 3.1 and I'm just basically putting it on the high parts of my face, a little bit on my chin, my nose and under my eye, and of course a little bit of those acne scars that I have that is peeping through my foundation. So I read this tip that if you leave your concealer on for like a minute or two and then get back to it, it will stay longer. So that's basically what I did. I'm going back in with that PAC makeup foundation brush and I'm smoothing out my concealer. Overall, I've really been happy with the Makeup Forever concealer and foundation because I've noticed little goes a long way. It's very buildable. If I want to just keep adding a little bit more or reduce, I can do that without it looking like I'm wearing too much or also too less. I've now swapped the bigger brush for a smaller PAC brush, and this is just kind of very useful for the smaller parts of your face like under your eye where those big brushes can't really get into, and I'm just smoothing out that concealer to give a very seamless blend. I'm also taking a little bit of the remaining foundation that was there in the brush and putting it on my eyelid. What this does is it kind of preps your eyelid for the eyeshadow and makes your eyeshadow look more dramatic and more bright. So now that we're done with concealing, we're going to be using the Laura Mercier loose powder, and I prefer using this with this angular sponge because it's just ideal for picking up that product and baking under the eye. I will get into what baking is in a minute, but before that guys, also apologies for all this powder that's just floating around everywhere. It's the first time I'm making a YouTube video on makeup, and I think the lighting was not very favorable to all this loose powder that's floating around. So if you see that throughout the video here and there, apologies in advance. Okay, back to what we're doing right now. We are taking the loose powder and baking the under eyes. Now what that is basically we are letting the powder set in so that it locks in the foundation and all the hard work we've done. I know I look ridiculous, but I promise we will wipe the powder away soon. In that time, let's contour the jawline. I'm using this MAC contouring stick. I've put it on my jaw, a little bit under my lower lip to give a natural looking pout, and a little bit on the sides of my nose to give a sharper nose. So while my face is baking, we are going to contour. This Real Techniques contouring brush has been a lifesaver for so many years. It's so beat up and used up, I know, but I just love it because it just gives the ideal blendability with those thick fibers just packed in together. I am currently blending the lower part of my jawline, and the thing is, people sometimes they just contour and just it looks so stark, but you need to really be a little patient and just keep blending because that's the only way those natural shadows will look more realistic. I'm now doing the sides of my nose, and you can see you just need to really be a little patient and keep just going up and down like that, and that gives a very nice natural angular look to your face. Once I'm done contouring my nose, I'm taking that same concealer brush I used previously and just going up and down the bridge of my nose. This will ensure that that shape looks angular and perfect. And I'm also taking a little bit of that powder which is left over in the sponge and baking my nose. Speaking of which, it's now time to remove all the powder on our face. So I'm using this MAC fluffy brush to just get rid of all that loose powder because the baking process is complete and our foundation and concealer is locked in. I'm just taking my pack brush once more to just ensure that the foundation and the contouring lines blend in seamlessly into each other and doesn't create that harsh line I was talking about. Time to define your eyebrows, and I'm using the Benefit Gimme Bro pencil. I've been using this for years and I really like it because it comes with a spoolie on the other end, and it's also really smooth and blendable, and I can get those natural hair-like strokes while I'm trying to fill in the eyebrows. When I do my eyebrows, I don't like to look like as if someone has taken a sketch pen and drawn over them. I like to make it look as natural as possible because why do we want to go in for that look? And this is the spoolie I was talking about. This is what helps really blend all that in. So once you're done drawing the strokes, you just use the spoolie to just blend everything in together. To set all of that in place, I am using the Benefit Eyebrow Gel. It's just a clear gel that I am sweeping through my eyebrows, which just ensures that all the hair and everything just gets locked in place and looks neat. Time to do the eyes, and I'm using this Huda Beauty eyeshadow. I really like this nude eyeshadow box because it has all the colors that I need for either a glam look or even a subtle look. And since it's Diwali time, we're going a little bit glam because where's the fun in that otherwise? I'm taking a small, slightly angular eyeshadow brush and mixing in these two shades of pink, and that is going to be our base shadow. Once we're done with that, I am now taking a much smaller eyeshadow brush and going in the lower lash line with that same pink color. Once we're done with that, I'm reaching out for this gorgeous maroon glitter foil. And the reason, guys, I'm using my hand is because I've tried using these foil pigments with a brush and it's just not as pigmented and vibrant. So take some in your hand, just lightly scoop some over and start from the inner corner of your eye up to a little bit more than the middle of your eye. Now, the reason we are not completely covering the eye with glitter foil is because we are going in for a slightly more smoky look. I'm then going to be taking this sort of champagne gold foil and layering that on top of this red maroon foil because it just gives like a nice cool dimension to it. It doesn't make it look as flat. Now once we've layered both the foils, we are going to be taking a slightly bigger fluffy eyeshadow brush and take one of the darker shades and start from the corner of your eye and just work your way towards the center where the glitter foil ends. So I'm doing very light taps and taking from the corner of my eye and just moving inward. So the reason I prefer this technique for myself is because I have deep sunken in eyes and they are a bit deep set. So I can't really go too heavy on the smoky look because it just makes me look like my eyes have really sunken in. So this gives me that satisfaction of having a lovely smoky look, but at the same time, my eyes don't end up looking really small. Once I'm done with the darker shade, I'm just going back in with a little bit more glitter pigment to make sure that the dark shade and the glitter blends in seamlessly and there's no harsh lines. And of course, an Indian look is not complete without kajal. So I'm just applying a little bit of kajal on the lash line. Again, I don't go very heavy with kajal because I don't want anything to make my eyes look very sunken in. To lock that kajal in place, I'm taking that same dark matte shadow that I used for my smoky look and putting it in the lower lash line. And what this does is it just prevents your kajal from leaking out, because if we're going to be going out the entire evening, we don't want like sweat and humidity to make our kajal transfer to our under eyes. Now this is just an optional step, but if you want your eyes to appear like they are much more wide-eyed and open, use a nude eye pencil in your waterline and it gives that illusion. I love reaching for this blush because it's a two-toned beautiful blush and it's by MAC and it's I think a limited edition that I picked up some time back. I'm using this MAC stippling brush to blend around and give a nice healthy glow. Next, we obviously need more of that glow, so I'm reaching for this MAC peach toned highlighter and using a fan brush, I am applying that on my cheekbones. Look at that glow, guys! I'm then taking a more gold toned highlighter, same by MAC, and applying some on the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my cupid's bow. And then I'm also going to be applying a little bit on the arch of my eyebrows. Now what this does is when you apply highlighter to all these points of your face, it just ends up giving your face a far more sharper and more pronounced look. And time for some lipstick. I love this particular brand of lipstick. It is the Maybelline Matte Ink lipstick and I think this is in the shade Founder. I really love the formulation of this liquid lipstick because how much ever I eat and sip on drinks or do anything, nothing seems to make this lipstick budge. And I have tried everything from $10 lipsticks to even $50 lipsticks. I have tried everything, but this is drugstore, super economical, and also ends up staying put on my lips. And we are almost done, but of course the final step is putting a cute little bindi, and voila, our Diwali makeup is ready, guys. And this is the final output. It is soft, it's glam, it's natural, but also you look like you've put in some effort. I think it's the perfect kind of look for this festive season. So I hope you guys enjoyed my first ever makeup tutorial and wishing you all a very happy and prosperous and safe Diwali. Lots of love. Mwah.